Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
This video is the sex talk, okay? Now, after watching this video, you should send us in how you were talked about sex, who talked to you about it, and how it went. Basically, Rebecca hasn't been had the sex talk yet, but I have, and it was interesting. Okay, if you want to know a little bit about me, I have split parents, and I also have a brother who's 25, a cousin who's like 20-something, and so I was going to visit my dad, right? And it was a couple weekends ago, and it was getting onto the topic of boyfriends. My friend for about 8 months is getting onto the topic of boys, and I was like, okay, Dad, I'm gonna tell you something, and you're gonna walk away, so it's not awkward. He's like, okay. He's like, serious, right? I was like, I've had a boyfriend for 8 months, and he's like, oh, okay, and he walks away. So it was like 2 hours later, and we're in the car going to my aunt's to go see my brother and my cousin, and Joe, his girlfriend, goes off to the store to go buy something, so it's just me and him, and he's outside the car smoking, and he's like, just kind of sitting there, and out of nowhere, he's like, are you safe? And I'm like, Dad, what? He's like, you know, are you safe? And I was like, I guess, you know, because I was in my head, I don't have sex, what grade am I in? Like, so I was like, yeah, I guess we're safe. And he's like, how old are you? You shouldn't be doing that. I was like, wait, Dad, what do you think I'm doing? And he's like, wait, what do you think I'm talking about? It's so awkward, right? And I'm like, and I just kind of ended the conversation there. And so his girlfriend comes back, and I was like, yo, Joe, guess what Dad tried to do? And she's like, what? And I was like, he tried to have the sex talk with me. And she's like, oh, David. So she tries to have the sex talk with me. So that's like 2 people in one day. It's not even like 12 o'clock yet. And so we get to my aunt's house, and it was a couple hours later, and I was going to the store with my brother and my cousin Richard, who are like 20. Rebecca's trying to itch her back.
It's really itchy. There's like mosquitoes here.
Anyways, I was going to the store with my brother and my cousin Richard to get smokes. And so we're walking there.
Not for you.
Not for me.
She doesn't smoke. She's a good girl.
That's bad.
Smoking
kills. Go work on your cancer. I slap my brother every time. Anyways, we're walking there. And I hadn't talked to him about my boyfriend yet. So he's like, Emily. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I hear you have a boyfriend. And he's like, I'm going to tell you one thing. And I was like, what's that, Aaron? That's my brother's name. And he's like, it's not going to last. And my cousin Richard's like, oh yeah, thanks, positive note there. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And so my brother, he's like, I don't know if you've had sex yet. And I was like, Aaron, I haven't had sex yet. Why does everyone think I'm having sex? Do I look like I sell myself? So he's like, I just want you to know you have to be safe. And he just kept talking to me, and I was like, as weird as it is talking to your older brother about sex, it wasn't awkward, you know, as my dad. But yeah, and then, so after that, we just kind of talked about sex, and it was not awkward. And my cousin tried to talk to me about it after that, and we were just all talking about sex. So one day I was talking about sex to about 4 people, and it was pretty weird.